Hello everyone, and welcome to Kick It. I'm Enigma, and have we got an app for you today. Late last year, a team called Retro Fighters launched a Kickstarter campaign for a brand new redesigned controller for the N64. While the three-prong design was incredibly innovative for its time, over the years it's fallen further and further out of style, especially with the essentially standardized design of modern controllers. Retro Fighters took it upon themselves to make a new controller to match that design. Mostly because Retro Fighters were offering these bad boys for just $25 each, the project managed to rake in almost $170,000. And after a brief delay in November, it has finally arrived. So, let's check it out.
Well, here it is everyone, the brand new Retro Fighters N64 controller. So let's not waste any more time and unbox this sucker. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Well, I can definitely tell you this doesn't feel like a $25 controller. It feels fairly sturdy like the original controller. Yeah. In fact, let's compare it to the original controller. Let's get this crap out of the way. So, yeah, it feels just as sturdy as the original controller, although it feels a tad softer, if that makes any sense. It's got the GameCube style octagon stick, which is much better than this piddly little thing. Let's see. Yeah, I think the C buttons are actually bigger. You got the Z triggers like a regular controller. That's pretty cool too. This feels like a really well put together controller. In terms of size, I think it's about the same width as the original controller. I'll be lacking its impressive third leg. However, Retro have discovered a minor flaw in the controller's design after initial shipment was sent out. It seems when the L button is pressed down and you move the controller, there seems to be some rubbing there. Yeah, I definitely can feel it there. They have announced that you can send the controller back for repairs for free, or they can ship the part out for you and you can install it yourself. But to be fair, considering how most N64 controllers had this setup, I guess the L button isn't really used that much, so I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue. But yeah, this feels like a very well put together controller. Then I think there's nothing left to do than try it on some games.
Hello! So let's start off obviously with the very first N64 game, Super Mario 64. Yeah, definitely have the, it's responsive, yeah? Oh, yeah, definitely got the long jump working on. Oh! It's pretty. Oh! C buttons work like a pinch. Yeah, this is actually working very well. In fact, it feels like it feels really natural in this hands. Although I'm not gonna lie, it does feel a little bit weird playing Mario 64, not holding to that middle prong anymore. I'm not saying it feels bad, just says it just feels different. Working well so far. Of course, another major staple, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I got full motion here, he's running pretty well. There is a bit of a dead zone, more than I'm comfortable with usually, but you know, it's fine, it's fine. It's what I usually expect when it comes to third-party controllers. Oh god, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? No, don't leave me out here alone! No! Yeah, this is definitely working very well. Oh god, there are more of them. Oh no, he got me! Okay, will you let me in now? Jesus Christ. So, yeah. Like we have time? It feels good, it feels right. It just feels like a really, really good setup. Okay, so what's next? Ah, Star Fox. I mean, Bloodhead Wars, whatever the hell it is. Of course, we've got the Rumble Pack set up. It accepts it and its controller pack. Unfortunately, due to some technical limitations, the transfer pack actually doesn't work with the controller. But hey, that just works for Pokemon Stadium, doesn't it?
Do a barrel roll!
I was never really good at Star Fox. You can't do an N64 video without going now, can ya? There he is. Good old James Bond, 007. There seems to be some kind of lag. If I press down the Z trigger on an automatic weapon, it doesn't stop the minute I release. That can be a bit of an issue, I think. Unfortunately, there's still the rareware aiming problem. That's still there. Unfortunately, that's not going to be fixed by this controller. One final game. One of my personal favorites on the N64, Sin and Punishment. Oh yeah, this definitely feels really good. It feels really good in my hands. It does. Some great precision with this game. But yeah, this is a great improvement to the original controller. And I would love to try it out in some more games like the Turok or Mario Party series. But imagine, if you will, instead of the C buttons, a second C stick, like on the GameCube controller. But also having a second controller input, so you can enable the 2-controller mode on games like Perfect Dark and Star Wars Racing. And also, utilizing a flash card, you could be able to modify the controller's layout. Now, admittedly, that would jack up the price extensively, but if it meant getting to play GoldenEye again without feeling all awkward like, I'm all for it. The brand new Brawler64 Controller is available for pre-order now for just $29 with a planned release in May or June at retrofighters.com. But before we go, let's talk about the Atari box. I'm sorry, I mean the Atari VCS. The brand new microconsole from the used husk that calls itself Atari these days. The device has been made to look like the 2600 and was set to launch on Indiegogo at the end of last year, but was delayed due to Atari not being confident in the progress of its development at the time. Having just been shown off at GDC, the Atari box will come with both a modern style controller and what looks to be a modern take on the original 2600 joystick. Atari have claimed to have learned lessons from another crowd-funded microconsole that was on Kickstarter a few years ago by having the VCS run Linux on a custom AMD processor and GPU, with promises it will have the power of a middle-of-the-market PC from 2017. With plans to retail at around $300, call me cautiously intrigued. With Linux, there's the possibility of running SteamOS, as well as the ability of running RetroArch. I wouldn't be seeing VCS trying to stand up alongside the main three, but with the Ouya now several years old, I want to give something else a try. That being said, with all the missteps the company trying to convince people it's actually Atari have done over the past few years, I wouldn't be surprised if the entire thing falls on its face. And lastly, several months ago, while the Switch had just been released, several crowdfunding campaigns sprouted up selling portable docks for the console. One of the most prominent ones was S-Fans, which looked like a micro version of the grip pad controller, and made over $130,000 on Indiegogo. The problem with all these crowd-funded portable docks is that internally they were all the same, using a board called CF001, a board primarily used for the Samsung Galaxy 8s, and costing roughly $30. So it's basically that whole take a Pi board and sell it as an emulator device again. No surprise there. The issue with S-Fans is that somewhere between the campaign's end and the product's shipment, the device was given a major redesign that wasn't to everyone's liking. Not to mention reports of devices being dead on arrival and even bricking switches. Since then, major accessory companies have started making their own docks with varying levels of success. But this seems to be happening more and more. People thinking they can just take pre-made boards and just sew them in a different case. We need to take a stand against lazy Kickstarters. People who think they can just make a second-rate product and then just disappear. Things like this give crowdfunding in general a bad name. We all need to work together to prevent rip-offs like this happening again. I'm here doing my part. What about you? Well, folks, I'm Enigma, and we'll see you all next time.